here tonight to speak at this event. I'm not, people can't hear me there, so that's quite unusual, because normally my voice carries very well. I was really glad to be invited here tonight, and the reason for that is not only because of the commitment that I have to this issue over many years, but also because I am of an age where I was growing up when there was when there were backstreet abortions were still relatively common. I can remember my mother and grandmother, making whispered comments at the kitchen table about, this woman or that woman who lived close by, who was forced into this decision and who had no choice, and the wee women down the street who carried these out, these abortions, and the danger that women were put into every day of their lives, because not only were they afraid of having their pregnancies and having child after child after child, but if they chose to end and terminate that pregnancy, the danger to them was quite phenomenal. And it was perfectly feasible that women would have serious infection and die. Now, we have come a long way since then, I'm very glad to say. But I also think that, echoing exactly what Rosa said, we have to continue to make sure that we don't lose those rights. We have to keep that fight up. It's really important to us to maintain our rights and our right to choose. We have fought long and hard for it, and we didn't get the rights that we have because some nice person sat down and thought, do you know what, women have really got a pretty shitty deal, let's do something about it. We got those rights because we fought damn hard for them, and we have to continue to fight to make sure that we maintain those rights until we do reach equality. Now, there is a wee way to go, you'll probably grasp that. We've got a wee bit of a trek to go yet before that happens, but it will happen. And I think because I continue to see women, and particularly young women, and I feel very heartened by this because I'm kind of romping towards retirement, but I feel very heartened by the fact that there are young women out there who are going to take up the reins and continue with that fight. Young, strong, resilient, energetic feminists. Some of us, the energy's disappearing a wee bit, but so many young women are out there ready to pick up, take up the baton and take this forward, and that really heartens me a lot. And of course, I'm just because I know about what the reality is for women if we go back to those backstreet abortions. I also think that it's really important that women who experience sexual violence, have safe access to terminations as and when they need them, and also as early as possible. And it's really important that we have that access to pills in the immediate aftermath, like emergency contraception or abortion pills in the immediate aftermath of sexual violence, to keep the distress to a minimum. We don't need any more distress and trauma for women. When I was growing up, in the olden days, when I was growing up, it was very much our responsibility as women not to become pregnant. It was our responsibility to be, pure and safe and make sure that we took the lead in ensuring that we did not become pregnant. And if we did become pregnant, we were judged for that. But then, of course, the whole point was we didn't have the choice. We were infantilised as much as we were not allowed to make choices about our own bodies. But we had the responsibility to make sure that those bodies didn't get pregnant. So we had to live with those contradictions all our lives. And I'm really glad that I have spent most of my adult life with this legislation in place that makes sure that me and women who I know have had access to terminations when we needed them. And I also think it's really important, again, what Rosa has said about the lobbying that goes on from people who are you know, against choice for women, and you know, people in the church and so on. They are, you know, they might be a minority, but they're a strong and vocal minority, and we have to be a strong and vocal majority to make sure that our voice continues to be heard. So I'm not going to waffle on interminably and bore everybody to death, although I could tell you lots of stories about the olden days, but I won't do that. You know, I think that it's great to see these, you know, everybody out here tonight. I think this is really heartening for women, and I think we need to make sure that we continue with the struggle for equality all round. But the most important equality is with our bodies, to make sure that we have control over them, you know, entirely, with no caveat whatsoever. Thank you very much.